Hey guys, it's JQ Crafty, Product Focus Friday for February. We are still focusing on Bella Blvd. I believe I have one person playing around. I believe Jody's playing along today. She will be linked down below. But today we are using, not only are we using Bella Blvd all month, remember, today we were supposed to use stamps as embellishments. So I just pulled out the design sheet. So I have these adorable stamps from Photoplay that I'm going to stamp and use them as embellishments, and I'll probably mostly use the flower and then the critters because in general these photos are not fall, so I don't want to use the leaves necessarily, maybe the acorn, but the photos aren't from the fall, so where they're going to be in the book is not going to make sense. They're actually from the spring, but these papers could read spring in my brain. It's just leaves. They don't necessarily look fall to me. They are in jewel tones, but everybody's in jewel tones in the pictures. So, and I scrapbook jewel tones all year round. So yeah, we're going to play with that. And there's some other bright, fun colors too. And I love that it's on this craft cardstock, where I'm also challenging myself and doing, going along with Scrapping Reflections. That is Sandy's group and her shop. She is doing Follow a Sketch February. So this is the sketch she's using. Perfect. I have tons of photos. We're going to use them. We're actually going to squeeze one more photo onto the right-hand side page, but we're going to do a 2-page layout for as well. And these critters, I believe I'm going to stamp on white, and then we're going to color them. I got myself, hold on, a ton of brush markers that I haven't swatched or anything yet, so it might be kind of a process, but we're going to color them. We're going to stamp them and then color them. It'll be a lot of fun to play with because I haven't really done that yet. So you can see me fail or succeed, I guess, right? All right. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so I'm showing you the critters and the flowers. And you know, I'm not going to say I failed, but I'm not going to say I succeeded. It was a good attempt. They turned out okay. But there's not a lot of option with my colors. I'm noticing I'll definitely use it more for the coloring for doing cards or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. And maybe I should have just colored less. I don't know. But I ended up finding like a creamy colored cardstock. It was like an off-white, almost the same color as some of this pattern paper in this little mini kit of this Bella Blvd one. And so I ended up stamping on that and coloring. And I cut all of that out because this video is already quite long. And so I didn't need to show you stamping and then me coloring in. But I did a handful of flowers, 5 of them, colored them all different. And then I did the acorn, the owl, and the fox. And I colored them all in as best I could to kind of match the collection. I think in general I did a pretty good job. My coloring skills are not very awesome, but full disclosure, this layout took way longer than it should have. I kept having to look at the sketch. For some reason my brain just wasn't, I was feeling creative, but it just wasn't flowing. Yeah. So it took me a lot longer than I'd liked. And I had first cut that flower piece thinking it was going to be the bigger section that goes across most of the right page and a little on the left. But then I realized I cut it too small, so then I had to change it up. And I was kind of struggling. Things were just not flowing the way I thought they should for doing this layout. But I do follow the sketch pretty closely. Yeah, very closely actually. Except for a couple snafus, because since I added a 3rd photo, there's a spot where it's not the same, but you'll see. But yeah, so another thing is I apologize for the horrible lighting, and the pictures are going to kind of have horrible lighting too, because I got a new setup for filming, and it's awesome, except for and by the way, all I'm doing is cutting pieces of paper and just trying to figure out where I want them to go. And then I'm going to start gluing things down. I think I do finally cut out a lot of the gluing down part, but that's all I'm doing. So while I'm ranting about something else, don't worry. Just watch and listen, I guess. But so I got a new setup for recording and we tested it out, and
the lighting is going to be amazing. But then we were reading the specs because I used like an old iPhone brick to plug it in. Because a lot of things nowadays, I've noticed, nowadays, I sound so old, a lot of electronics, a lot of things like lights and etc. are coming with USB ports. And they say use any USB power adapter, which I just don't understand. I get it's probably cheaper that they don't sell it with their item. But I really wish they would just do that, because my light apparently needs a power adapter or like a wall plug-in with a USB port on it that outputs a certain amount of amps. iPhone brick is only half of what it needs, so guess what? It gets hot and you could start a fire, or you could ruin your adapter, or you could ruin your item. In this case, my light. Don't want that. My new phone, I have a new Pixel, would work perfect, but it's USB-C. It's not USB, so it doesn't work. And the old iPad, like adapter USB bricks would be perfect, but we gave all of ours away to someone. We still have an iPad, but we gave all of our bricks away to someone who needed that. I don't remember why, but we did, and it was like years ago, so I'm not gonna. So anyway, I've been searching and searching, and I really needed to record this video, and so I have my new camera part set up, but the light, I just had to use my lamp that I've been using, and because of how I rearranged and where everything is, I couldn't put it up high like I had it before. And so I apologize. There's going to be a lot of shadow on the right. But hopefully you can see most of it. And I'm hoping a bunch of videos that come after this on my channel are not going to be the new setup at all. The next Product Focus Friday, though, will be the new setup. And I just have to go find myself a power adapter. That was the other funny thing. I found one last night, or the night before, I think Wednesday night, online, and it said it was at the local Best Buy. So I stopped there after work, and they didn't have it in stock. And it would have worked perfect. But anywho, so I glued all that stuff down, and I decided, because of all these patterns, and something was just missing, so I decided to take this fine tip brown pen I have and just literally outline everything. Outline everything. And I really like the way that looks. It really kind of makes some things pop. And just gives it a nice like grounding. So I did that. Now I'm cutting all the little weird fishtail banners. And I cut them in the weird angle that they are in the sketch. I've never cut fishtail banners like that before. And I still am not sure how I feel about them. But I was able to do it. I was able to get it accomplished. So I got the main layers down on the page, and now I'm going to start doing all the fun little bits like the banners, and then I'm going to punch some circles, figure out what my journaling block's going to be. Yeah. So I'm cutting these fishtail banners and getting them figured out. And what you saw earlier too is what I like to do when I have 2-page layouts that I'm going to do is I actually washi tape, especially when there's elements, like in a sketch or something, there's elements that cross the center of the 2 pages. I like to washi tape them together. That way everything can just lay out the way I need it to, and then I cut them apart later. And you'll see me do that in a little while. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are going to love my new setup and the lighting and everything we have. It's going to be awesome. And what's great too is and I didn't want to adjust this too much because I have it where I want it for single page layouts. It's on, my camera will now be on an arm that hangs from my ceiling that I can adjust the height. So I actually can go up to get a wider shot for things like 2-page layouts, which is awesome. I won't be able to go lower because it's as low as it can go right now, but I will be able to do that. And I have been able to zoom in on occasion if I need to, but that's not very necessary usually. You guys kind of want to see the whole process unless I'm doing something really tiny. And I hope someday I can upgrade my camera, because right now I'm actually just using an old phone. The glorious life of YouTube recording. We don't all have fancy equipment, but it's okay. It works, right? It works. It works. Someday I'll slowly upgrade, right? So I'm slowly getting my lights upgraded and my kind of rig, how I have my filming apparatus all done and getting her done. Okay, so now I'm going to mat my photos really quick. It's the same paper. It's actually a Color Vibes paper, I believe, from Simple Stories. Like I said, it's like a cream, but it's the same one I did the stamping on. Because I figured it would work really well. I didn't want to do white because white is not really in anywhere. It's all this cream based. But I cut all that out, because you didn't need to see me glue all that down. And if you've watched enough of me just dinking around. So now I'm going to work on the left page mainly. I'm going to work on the left. Glued everything down, and now I'm creating that cluster with the stamps and the little flare button that says Hello Happy. And I really like that. And that journaling piece was actually the back of one of the other Bella Blvd collection that I played with last week. And so when I was going through the papers and trying to figure out what I could cut the circles out of, I realized, I have this other Bella Blvd collection that I've already cut into that has very similar colors, and all the colors coordinate because it's all the same manufacturer and all the same company. So I had cut out a circle for that upper left spot, and then I punched out a little circle for this lower right spot, as well as out of the maroon zigzag chevron paper. So I assembled the left page. You saw me flip it over, cut it apart, and now I'm going to assemble the whole right page and then finish outlining all of the banner pieces, because I really wanted to finish that out and make sure everything that's basically a piece of paper that is part of like the main elements is getting outlined. The photos are not, the embellishments are not, and the journaling spot is not. But yeah, the journaling spot was perfect. It was a cut apart sheet on the back of the Bella Blvd paper from the previous collection, like I said. So it worked out great. I was able to fit all my journaling on, which I do off camera. I do not do that on camera. And yeah. So getting all that stuff glued down. And then I noticed it needed something. What else came with this little kit was 2 larger paperclip type arrows. Those I don't end up using. And then 2 wood veneer words. One crazy, one family. Something's supposed to be crazy family. But I really liked the family one. So I don't use crazy and I don't use the paper clips. But I am going to use family, and I have that over there on the left, kind of propped up over there. I'm going to use this last floral and stick that on there and glue the family down. And then I decided I want to do meeting family, because this was actually, even though my son was a few months old, this was the first official time that he actually got to meet his great grandma and his great uncle. And yeah, it was very special. So I was able to get all the journaling about what I wanted to say on here as well with that large journaling spot. But I decided to do meeting family. And so I kind of dug through my stash. My stickers. I was trying to figure out what alphas. I really wanted a smaller alpha. I really wish I would have just had one color of the blue, but I kind of like this 2-tone blue. So I do that in meeting. And then I went and I really like the wood veneer family. So I said, well, I need some more wood veneer around. And I remembered I have these LA Studio wood veneer confetti, basically. So there's a few different shapes in this little bag of wood veneer confetti. But I picked out the little asterisk looking ones. And I'm just going to sprinkle those around the clusters, 2 on each page. And there you have it. Thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate you all. Once again, I'm sorry about the lighting. It will get better, I promise. Thanks, guys. Bye.